who are the 17%? Who are they? Who the hell are the 17%? Anybody in here from the 17%? Don't raise your hand. It may be dangerous.
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us,
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
Get comfy, no, get ready for war. They started it all, but now it's time to settle the score. New recruits join us where the veterans are. Lace your boots, prepare to earn medals and stars. Information warfare, they want control of your mind. They dumb you down, it's easy to take control of the blind. Question the narrative, you never know what you'll find. We can always see the evil cause we know it's designed. The old guard's collapsing, we're here to watch it happen. Enough of the build-up, we're ready for the action. The part of the movie where we understand the acting as we look around the room at each other's reactions. Horrifying evil rising up to the surface. Demons in the ether realizing that they're worthless. NPCs walk amongst us without a purpose. They know the time's up and see that it wasn't worth it. Brainstorm family, holding it down. They control the narrative, but we're controlling it now. It's like 1984 when they're controlling the crowd. We break the matrix into pieces that we burn to the ground. Together we are the phoenix rising from the ashes, tearing down the system and laughing as it crashes. Brutalize the deep state and give them 50 lashes. Cause we are slaves and these people are our masters. We go to war for our families, do it for the kids. It shouldn't be this way, but that's just the way it is. We bring truth to y'all until there's nothing left to give. We give demons no authority to tell us how to live. This is our world and our job is taking it back. These are our girls and our boys are under attack. Social engineering, every step is a trap. We teach you how to navigate through every step of the map. Stormy J coming at you live, finding all the truth as they rummage through the lies. Patriots united while this evil's on the rise. Lift the veil on the system and see through the disguise. This is our time to shine. These are our minds combined. Society has declined. Realigning the design. Realize your mind has been attacked and been assigned to be a vessel of the indoctrination that you're trying. In the matrix, we're breaking utter devastation and destruction to every single move that they're making. The ground is shaking, breaking from the anticipation of the moment that we capture back the soul of the nation. Demonstration, bringing back the bases, man, these stations ready for the revelation of this evil that we're facing. Agents of the matrix making power moves and maces. Full armor of God, and we're coming for you, Satan.
Good evening, Brainstorm Army. It's nice to see everyone in the chat tonight. We got some special guests for you tonight. Spaceshot, it's nice to have you on, brother.
Unmute, Spaceshot.
Oh, no. I was just saying hello to the folks in the chat there.
Yeah. Thanks for
Let me
coming
turn
on.
this AC off.
Appreciate it,
no
man.
problem, brother. It's always a pleasure. I know you guys are good peeps over here. Knowing Jimmy for a little bit, you as well there, Stormy, and you guys are doing good stuff out here, and we're crushing it out here in general. And this last month was a big wake-up call to a lot of people out there who not maybe trusting the plan too much for a while, but I think President Trump is getting more brazen as the time goes on, reposting certain things, certain deltas that are just friggin' crazy.
Yeah, it's off the wall, man. You don't have to turn your air conditioner off. I can't hear it, man. So
Nope.
you speak freely. We can't hear the hum.
All right, yeah. Let me know if you hear anything.
Don't roast yourself out. Mega Punch, how are you, brother?
Awesome. Thanks for having me. It's a privilege as always.
No problem. We got some good.
Here.
How'd you guys celebrate the 4th?
Look at Stormy's fingers.
Everybody have their digits?
I was close. That fuse was quick one. He was a quick one, but stayed away from minor burns, so we're all right.
Were you playing that round with an M80 or what?
No, I was trying to do 2 mortar shells together, so I was holding the wicks together. Yeah. Bad boys are quick, man.
Nice.
Me and the boys had fun. It's all that matters.
No sympathy at all.
You guys hear about the guy that put the whatever in his hat and ended up killing him?
No.
Yeah, he put some type of fireworks in his hat. I'm not sure what he put in his hat, but I don't know if it was supposed to lift off and it didn't lift off. But I did have one mortar shell that didn't go out of the tube and just exploded in the tube. So I could only imagine. I mean, you gotta be quick with those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some M80s in the Jeep. They're so dried out. They're 10 years old. I'm just gonna throw them in the fire.
Oh
Sounds like
shit,
a great plan. Make sure there's lots of coals.
Yeah.
man, we can't.
Can we
Over
do
here
it?
in the Northeast, we can't get that stuff at all. We can't get none of that. I mean, we can't even get bottle rockets over here. Like serious. Like we used to have the pineapples, M80s back in the day. Then they shut that off, and then we went down to the Amish. The Amish actually sell M80s, but I'll tell you what, there was probably about a good 60% of them were, bad wicks or didn't work. But they did have some fun stuff there. But yeah, we can't get good stuff here anymore. They get those, stupid packs you can buy at a supermarket and stuff like that, but I want some salutes. I want some, whistlers with report. None of that stuff anymore around here. Anyway, I don't know about you guys.
You guys probably
And,
had the smoke bombs and all that. Yeah.
Did you guys ever
We
have
have a-
bottle rocket fights back when you were kids?
Dude, Roman candle wars. Dude, that's the best.
Yes, that's right.
Roman candles.
Oh, I got a good one. I got a good bottle rocket story for you now. Freshman year of high school, a week before the championship baseball game, my coach designs this ridiculous move, which ends up getting my leg broken in our final practice before the game. So we lost, but I end up having a cast all the way to the tip of my toes, but it was like an open toe, and then it went up to the knee. And some lady down the street set off a bottle rocket, and I shit you not, this thing the bottle tipped over. It went down the street about 6-8 inches off the ground. It landed right in my toe, and and kaboom! And it didn't hurt though, right? I was just like, "What the? Oh my goodness!" And the funny thing is too, my buddy, maybe I don't know, 10 minutes later, accidentally dropped one in their direction, and it hit off the. He had like a Jeep pickup truck, and it hit like right off the back. And the report hit as soon as it hit the back of it, so it sounded like it was like crazy. But yeah, we had some close calls in my day as well.
Yeah, I had one that went off on the top of a neighbor's roof, and I looked at my wife and thinking, we'll save the rest for when all hell breaks loose. I got about 17 left over for when things start to come to fruition. I'm gonna set off one.
It's a good number.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, we were lighting some mortars off of my buddy's place, and it was an old lady neighbor. Like she was sitting there watching us through her picture window, and one of them tipped over, and it shot right through her picture window. And dude, oof. The cops wanted to arrest us and shit. She's like, "I'll just leave them boys alone. They're having fun."
Yeah, boys will be boys.
Yeah, we had the local cops drive by a couple times. They just waved, smiling from ear to ear.
This year?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
I have some friends in California. It seemed like that was kind of the trend.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was getting busted for anything.
Yeah.
Dude, they confiscate them here.
No way.
Oh yeah. They're not allowed. There's so many fires around here.
Oh, is it because of the wildfires?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense. They don't have that problems here in Rhode Island. I've never seen anybody in trouble for setting off fireworks around 4th of July time. Nobody's ever they don't ever bust our beans about it. They basically are cool about it. But when you start going a few days away from that, that's when they get pissed off.
Yeah, that or go well past 11 o'clock midnight. As long as you're done by 11 around here, we're usually okay.
Have you guys ever blown
They're going
off?
off until 1-2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow.
There's something that I always wanted to do. Have you guys ever blown off a mortar during a snowstorm?
No.
I think that would be cool. I mean, I don't know what it would
We
look
shall
like.
StreamYard that one. Yes.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it would
I
look
wanna-
like.
I want to see that.
It kind of intrigues me with all the flakes coming down.
That'd be good.
That would be pretty.
That would be
Wow.
pretty
As
awesome.
a colorful Millennial Falcon.
Speaking of fireworks, I mean, Spaceshot, you were talking a little bit about Trump, reposting some stuff. I mean, I saw where he reposted someone that posted the true commander in chief, with him walking out of walking down Mar-a-Lago hallway. Is that what it was?
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't see that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The ones that I saw were on 6:30, so it was June 30th, and then you can look up these posts on June 30th where it was. One of them is, and there's actually a really cool one too. One of them says, "Where we go one, we go all," and he retruthed. I think it was something Street Fighter or something, fighter or whatever, and he retruthed the same person twice on 6:30. One of them said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident," and in the Q post, there's also a delta on that same day that says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident," and there's also a Q post from that day that says, "Where we go one, we go all." Q plus. And then, interestingly enough, on that same day on 6:30, remember Joe Biden coming out and saying, "Oh, we hold these truths to be self-evident." Well, you know the thing, right?
thing.
Yeah. Well, he came out on 6:30 on that same Delta day, and he recited that same thing flawlessly. "We hold these truths to be self-evident." I was like, "Wow, good for you, Joe." So I don't know if that was a Delta too, but I'll tell you what, it lines up. So, who's in control? I mean, the more we see this show, the more cracks in the armor, I guess we could see, and the more brazen President Trump has gotten lately. And I think, the closer we get towards the election time, I think the more they're gonna squeak this stuff out. I think they really need to pour it onto these guys to let the other side know, like, who these people really are, And he is doing it, in my opinion.
Enoch's on point as always. Is this what
gonna
you were
say-
talking about?
Booms, yeah. Enoch's always on the money. I think I saw Enoch in the chat a little while ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Chat.
What's up, Enoch? Dude, that is just crazy, right? I mean, 6:30 on both of them, and then the Delta, and then you see I think it's the right picture. It says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident," and then you can look up Joey Biden White House video from that day. Is also 6:30, and he says the same friggin' line, and it's just like, hey, maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. I mean, but there's what we have to. Yeah, what we have to start adding up, guys, is not just the fact of like, all right, this was a coincidence, right? And then, the whole idea of how many before it's mathematically impossible, right? You have to kind of like add the coincidences, on top of the coincidences. And then those percentages become just, crazy over the top.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, this is Q post on 1646 on 6:30, 1645 on 6:30. These both are on June 30th.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we have we go one, we go all Q plus. That's who we think Q plus could be. And then you have, "We hold these truths self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator in certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." I mean, you can't get any more detail than that, Space Shot.
Hey, Stormy, I got another one for you. So I kind of went over these early, maybe a couple days ago or whatever, but I went through the post. If you look up on the drops, look up what does it say? You can just look up Q plus and then look for pictures. You'll see one of President Trump with Modi and Melania. And then in the picture, it tells you, "Thank you for visiting India, Q and Q plus." So if you look at that post for that day, if you look up, what was it?
Is it Q plus?
Yeah, just look up Q plus because there's not a ton of them, and just look for the picture. It's not actually all of them sitting next together. It's like a billboard, and it says, "Thank you for visiting India," or something like that. Q and Q plus. So that's why I think that Delta on that day, where specifically it says, "Where we go when we go all," and it has Q plus in it. It also has Melania in it. In my opinion, Melania is Q plus. Q is Trump, and +1 is his wife. And then if you look at that post that I'm referencing, I can find it for you if you. Let me see.
I got it. Just took me a minute.
Gotcha. All right. Good.
So here,
but I mean, it's pretty clear to me. I mean, once you lay that out, right? I mean, look at what the thing says.
Finally, be strong in the Lord and His mighty power, pulling the full armor of God. What you're talking about?
Yeah, but just read the part where it says like, "Thank you for visiting," or down the bottom. Yeah.
Thanks for the wonderful visit, Q and Q plus. Love and respect, support from India.
So you can only have two real assumptions from that picture because you have the picture of Trump, you have the picture of Melania. Now one has to be Q, one has to be Q plus. Now, do we think she's Q and he's Q plus, or do you know? I mean, I'd like to hear your guys' opinions too because I had thought for a while now that Melania was Q plus.
Well, I mean, I'll let the other ones answer before I answer this one. Go ahead.
I know your thoughts.
I would say you're probably right because you know just as well as everybody else. I'd never really followed Q, so I would say you're probably right. But knowing,
I mean, there's not too many
now.
No.
Knowing the things that I know now, I would have to say that Q is somebody else other than Trump.
like Barron.
Like maybe Bob Cutler.
Multiple people.
I mean, they talk about.
Have you looked at Boone's
10?
2013, 2014 posts?
So could Q be 10, 3 of them non-military? So is Q a group of 10 people?
Yeah, that's what it said. It said, just like you said, it said, I think it says less than 10, right? Less than 10, 3 non-military. And then it becomes like, are they considering the Q plus? Are they considering her part of the team, or is she kind of just like, or what's the deal with that? But that's the only drop that I think it's pretty cut and dry right there. Because I mean, who do we think Modi is Q or Q plus, or this guy holding a picture over his face? You know what I mean? So it's got to be Trump and Melania, and then it just comes down to which order are they in. And then you know, I've heard it both ways. Like, you know, she's Q and he's Q plus, and then maybe Barron because Trump says how great he is on a computer, and you know the things he can do on a computer is crazy. I just want to see how tall that little dude's gonna get. I don't know. Say little dude. He's 6'8" the last time they talked about it. Jeez.
Be blocking shots.
You can
Time
count the
travel.
people who have full picture on 2 hands. Of those less than 10 people, only 3 are non-military. Why is this relevant? Game theory outside potential operator has been dialed in with orders specific to her mission. Nobody else has this information. Operators never divulge. Alice in Wonderland.
Yep, and so many people over the years come out, oh, I'm the Q team, or I talked to a guy on the Q team, and it's like, oh my good. And then you had that idiot come out and say he was Q. Yeah, he comes out and says he's Q from the future. Yeah.
Did you not know? Did you not know that I fucking got in his ass in Detroit?
Figuratively or literally?
No,
like, dude, like
not
literally.
Not literally.
Both.
I'm on the wrong show.
No, I chewed his ass, dude, big time. I just told him. He's like, you recall quite a bit of stuff. He goes, I can't. He goes, that's pretty impressive. He called, the baby Q thing. That wasn't a reference to the baby Yoda. And then he started talking the quantum part. I'm just like, dude, blah, 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 blah.
It was definitely an interesting conversation.
And Enoch sits there and takes a picture of me, and then they start memeing my ass.
I'm looking for pictures.
Dude, they did. Oh,
yeah. And there were some good memes. There were some good memes.
I have them. Dude, they were memeing the shit out of me with it.
Yeah.
It must be on my phone. It's not on here.
Do you have them?
Oh,
You were like, tell me more. Tell me more.
Seeing one leg go up in baby Q's ass. We got pictures to prove it too.
you got the pictures to prove it.
I was able to participate in the second afternoon conversation. It was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Dude,
I didn't
And I
realize that.
straight up told him, you're a manipulator, dude.
Oh, is that it? Where'd you bump into him?
Were you waking to her?
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy is like, dude, he is a straight up manipulator.
Jimmy tried to get him escorted out.
Yo, I can't read before I pull them up. So
Good. That guy is so vile. Like,
See, even you say it.
Did he bring dipping dots?
yeah, I don't know. But dude, that guy is so plastic. Spaceshot. Like, dude, he's got like these perfect fingernails, perfect hair, perfect. Dude, skin. It looks like it's just like it's like he's like rubber.
He gave me the creeps. He gave me the creeps.
He's a strange character.
Very strange.
So there's
we're like going, get away, Satan, get away.
He definitely looks the weirdo part. That's for sure.
Dude, he wore the same shit 2 days in a row, the exact same clothes.
That's probably all he has. He has like multiple black shirts, multiple black.
He plays that
pants.
whole villain thing, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's a Sunday best.
Yeah.
Did you have any more deltas?
Oh, hey
Spaceshot?
guys.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna actually bring it up. And I'm right next to the AC. You guys don't hear anything right now?
Nope, you're good. Nope.
Nothing. All right, great, awesome. Yeah, so that was like the icing on top of the cake. Those three, and I call the Biden one a delta. I'll get you that link in a couple minutes when I'm done with this one, Stormy, and you can show Joey B talking about that because it's hilarious. But that was like the icing on top of the cake because then earlier in the month, and I forgot the exact dates off the top of my head. I want to say maybe June 3rd and June 11th, I think they were. And I don't know. I mean, Enoch probably has a post for him up there somewhere. But the Hunter deltas came out, right? Remember the gun image, the boom, 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 in the shape of a gun. When you flip it upside down, it's a gun. Well, I believe it was the name of one of the images was like 6-3 or something like that, right? And then on another one of the posts, it had something to do with 6/11, and it had to do with that same post that they reposted. Well, his trial started on 6/3, and it ended on 6/11. And it's like, excuse me? Like, yeah, that one just like completely blew my mind. I mean, for me, that one's even more crazy than the President Trump reposting the pictures. How do they know so far ahead of time, 5, 6 years ahead of time or whatever, that they were going to have this, go down the way it did? To the day, and remember there was one post that people had asked Q team, like, how do you guys know everything that's going to happen? And there was that one word response, which was control. And I believe that they have control, and I've always believed that because in the beginning, you guys remember the whole McCain thing, right? Gone in 30, he had the ankle thing on one leg, he sprained his ankle, and then 2 weeks later, he's got the boot on the other leg, but he doesn't have one on that leg. Yeah, look at this shit. Come on, Enoch. Any
Enoch's always on
you
point,
don't
man.
have out there, brother? But yeah, no, he's killing it with this. Hell yeah, has been since the beginning, dude.
Yeah.
OG style right there, and that's crazy. Just think about that, guys. How long ahead of time did they have to plan that? And I haven't seen the decode on it. I was just reading through some stuff last night, but somebody had said that that group Entheos had called that General Flynn was going to be removed from Trump's administration, like exactly when he was going to be. So that also leads to, again, pre-planning and things that we know along these lines. Because you guys know I do a few shows during the week, and we have differing opinions on certain, and then some, one or two of my co-hosts during the week, they're like an anti-Flynn people, and they don't like him. And I'm like, what it kind of boils down to me, and they gave me an explanation for it, not to ruffle feathers or whatever. And I think with Flynn, what it comes down to me is, I'm a Rhode Island guy anyway, but with him, it's like, do people think that he's more popular than Trump, like way more popular than Trump? Like, no, I don't think he's more popular than Trump, not even close to popular as Trump. All right, so with that in mind, if this guy was this, evil guy and he was going to do all this stuff in the background, don't you think Trump would come out and say something a little bit more poignant rather than, oh, hey, our administration is starting in 18 months, stay healthy, What is that? So that's what I kind of like. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like Trump would warn us if that was the issue, and I don't think there's anything holding him back from doing so. And then, their explanation was like, well, he doesn't want to have infighting with his crowd and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but Trump is the top dog. And if General Flynn, this is a hypothetical, of course, right? If General Flynn ever tried to pull a DeSantis, he would get DeSantis. right? The same thing would happen to him,
He'd have
right? So
nicknames.
anybody that tries to kind of, yeah, anything that kind of pulls rank or tries to do that on him, they're gonna, it's gonna happen the same exact way. So, pretty interesting stuff though. But like, I love that stuff with McCain, and that's why in the very beginning, well, not towards the beginning, but after like the inauguration, everybody got gut punched, and I was the same way. I'm just like, what the hell's going on here? And then I start thinking, and I'm like, wait, this stuff with McCain, gone in 30, he had the ankle boot on one leg. 2 weeks later, he has it on the other one, but then he doesn't have anything supporting the other original bad ankle. I had to put a boot on the other foot because I was supporting, I was favoring this one so bad. What? And then magically 2 weeks later, you sprain your ankle, and now that one's completely fine, and now you're going to favor it on the other side. And then beyond that, right, the Q team called it 30 days. And then his daughter comes out and says, list Barack Obama, John McCain, Matt, you can't kill him twice. What? Mm-hmm. And then John Kasich comes out and he's like, dude, it hasn't even been 48 hours since he's executed, since they executed McCain. It's like, what? They executed McCain? What happened?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had some clues along the lines, and I think they've done an excellent job of not going overboard and just kind of giving us just enough to let us know that we're in the game, but without exposing themselves or the operation too much.
Absolutely agree. Ryan, you have any thoughts?
Well, just something different. What resonates with me was the first time I remember watching Trump give some sort of speech on the news, and he was in the Oval Office, and Andrew Jackson was on the wall, and that hit me like immediately in 2017.
Yeah. And
I was telling people, I said, I've never seen anybody have a picture like that in the Oval Office. There's something going on, like something happening deep.
Something we're not going to expect. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, and then watching HW's funeral. I mean, I watched it live time. That was I remember rewinding and going, "Wait a second, holy shit! Did you see Jeb Bush and what happened?" Because that was all on national television.
He did,
but it kicked me at that.
He didn't crap his pants.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it live and I rewound it. I was like, wait a second.
He pulled an Adler.
Yeah.
On live TV.
Yeah, he was visibly shaken.
Yeah. And seeing it live was incredible. Like, to be privileged enough to recognize it when it actually happened.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell are these stupid letters?
Right. I don't know. It's all. What do they say? I don't know.
Dude, I want to know. Like,
I do too.
Your death date.
I got a good theory.
What's your theory? I have one too.
I got a little theory. So I put one up on YouTube, and that video went friggin' thermonuclear. There was like 600,000 views and like, I don't even know, like super quick. And I was, averaging like 80 or 100,000, views of video back then, when the times when the goings were good over there on YouTube. 80, 100,000 views a day, killing it. And then all of a sudden, towards the end, when I had 5 times the amount of followers, I couldn't scrape together like 15,000 views on a video. It was just like, what the hell? But my theory on that funeral, specific to being George Herbert Walker Bush's funeral, is that if you've seen any documentaries about him, that he was notorious. He used to write letters a lot, right? His big thing was he wrote letters to everybody. Yeah. So my thing was something along the lines of, sorry, I had to do it, or I had to give them. It had to be something really short and sweet, because they all looked it up and down in maybe 2 or 3 seconds, right? Yeah. And it may be something along the lines of, they have it all. Sorry, George. Something along those lines is my theory.
Yeah.
Right, his unrecognizable handwriting or a picture.
Do you find that weird that JFK would name his magazine George? And then is it possible that George is the one that spilled the beans on everything? I think it happened before then, but it could be another coincidence we're talking about, right?
Well, there are no coincidences.
So I want to
Are
pivot
these
a
guys
little bit.
dealing with technology? Sorry, go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
But no, I was just kind of going along the lines of what you're saying about seeing things in the
Yeah.
future, and we've heard about the oh geez, what is the somebody's stomach just went burp. What's the looking glass technology, right? So we know that
Yeah.
we reported. I watched Kerry Cassidy like probably 15 years ago, maybe like 2009, 2010, and they were talking about some looking glass technology that they could look and see certain certain timelines and stuff like that. But they said after a certain timeline, it basically they couldn't change it. So I don't know if that ended up all being legitimate, but I do feel like that to a certain extent they must have some sort of technology like that, or I don't know if it's supercomputers that's doing it, is doing the predictive stuff, but whatever they're doing is something that's working because they do have control. And my thing is I just about the getting people out of the country. I just don't know. That's going to be a tall order if they have to evict. Essentially evict 15 million people or more. That would be the mass kicking out of people. So we'll see how that goes down. But yeah, do we have technology like that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think we do.
Anything's
it's
possible.
I think they've had better technology. Do you guys see some of this stuff? Like I love those little short videos, like Twitter or YouTube or whatever. This guy he showed something about ancient Egypt, right? And it's some stone that's like on the hardness scale, like right next to diamond. And these guys have this like perfectly balanced pottery made out of this stone that's literally one step away from the hardness of a diamond, and it's all perfect. Like they put this through like a like a CNC machine essentially, and measured everything. Everything is perfectly perpendicular. Like the walls on are down to like everything's accurate to within like the size, like the thickness of a hair, all the way around, and then it balances this, which I think it would be like maybe 2-3 times the size of like a coffee mug, and it balances on the bottom on maybe the thickness of maybe like if you put an egg up top, and the whole thing is just perfectly balanced too. And these are things like I'm convinced that we've had technology that they're completely holding from us, or they haven't really refigured out yet. But I think they knew stuff that is much more advanced than what we're dealing with nowadays. When you look into you guys can look into like Tartaria and mud flood stuff, and I only say that because they show you good examples of like the beautiful architecture that we see, and it's like, wait, how come Maryland has this gorgeous friggin' cathedral here, and then all the buildings next to it are just ran down shacks, and even the the big buildings they pale in comparison. It's nothing close to the technology they had then. And then anybody that hasn't heard me spout about the World Fair, go look up the World Fair in Chicago and the marble statues that they made, and oh my god, yeah, well they had to, Jimmy, they didn't need it anymore. You make all this beautiful art, and what do you do when it's done? You don't enjoy it for the rest of your life. You smash the crap out of it. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever. None of it makes any sense. And then all these, and who put out another video yesterday about? I was scrolling along. I think it was Tori that somebody remastered another video that she was talking about, but she was talking about this mass influx of babies that came from all these nurseries and stuff in like the late 1800s. And that which repopulated, parts of the United States. So our history is so screwed and not complete, and they are not even giving us close to the complete picture. I'm convinced of that. Not even close.
I think that's the biggest construct to just the general public, is to accept that anything is possible. And once they can get there, it'll be much easier on everybody.
Yes, I agree.
Like, to your point, look at Star Trek, right? I mean, they were showing us then flip phones.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, did you guys know that they had this stuff? Like, and you making that noise for some reason reminded me of like an escalator, right? And if you look in the early 1900s, dude, they had friggin' moving escalators, on streets in the United States. They had electric scooters. They had hovercraft, like they had all this stuff in the early 1900s. You had Nikola Tesla in 1918 powering 50 light bulbs from 5 miles away with no wires, and we're
And the
still
hydro
plugging shit in like a
technology,
bunch
right?
of schleppers.
The whole Chicago's fair was powered by the ether.
Does that remind you of the what 250-year anniversary Trump talked about?
Oh
Going
yeah,
back
that's gonna
going
be
back
awesome.
to Iowa.
Dude,
It's going to be big, and that's I think those, I don't know who they are, and
It'd be
I
huge.
falsely mislabeled them as lawyers, but it's a group of conservative people that are pro-conservative. They say pro-Israel, pro-military, and they help out conservative podcasters with tips. I mean, I'd like a tip, so maybe I'll have to email them for one of those. But no, they've been killing it with deltas and stuff like that. Like they'll post something, and then all of a sudden, like a week later, you'll see Trump post something, or a certain time goes by, Trump posts something, or even the Q team was posting certain stuff that they were posting. And what I found with them is the timestamp generally, well, not, I don't want to say it generally, but a lot of times their timestamp ends up being the date of when it happened, when it actually happens. And so one of their predictions is that basically in our 250th anniversary, we're going to be loving life then. So that's, and as far as I understand, that's what, 26 or is that 25? 25, I think, isn't it?
20,
Wait, 76, 250 years.
26.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I'm off a whole year. Damn it! Yep. And I'm over there telling my father-in-law because he likes those prophetic videos, and he's like, yeah, a lot of these prophets are saying that we're gonna have a rough year, and I was thinking that year was up in July next year, and I'm like, no, I think we're gonna be good by next July, and I'm like, oh shit, no, now we got 2 years to go. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. When he wins that election or whatever they try to do, that's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. So keep your guys' heads on a swivel and make sure you are armed and to protect your family.
Spaceshot, do you think we'll have an election? What are your thoughts?
Whew. Yeah, I mean they kind of have to, right? I mean they'll try to make something, whether it be that new variant or whatever they're trying to say. And everybody, please remind everybody that if this is COVID or whatever the hell they're trying to say, if it's another variant, well, every variant you go gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And what are we on, like the 30th variant now? Yeah. So it's like I'm all COVIDed out, but they're all talking about Burks and them are talking about this other avian, was it avian flu or whatever
flu.
That there's
Yeah,
the chicken flu that the first time in history it went from bird to cow or whatever, or bird to human, whatever the hell it is. The first in history.
How the hell do you get it from the birds? Are you eating bird shit? I don't understand.
Yeah, but it's like the timing of it. It's like,
they're drinking
the
chicken
first
milk.
time in history, right before the election. Go figure.
They are struggling to keep the sleepers asleep as much as they possibly can. It's hysterical at this point.
Ryan, do you think we'll have an election?
I don't know. I go back and forth on it.
I do too. Yeah.
I go back and forth. I don't have a solid answer for that.
I don't think we will. I don't. I honestly think that Biden, with between the 13th and 18th, is gonna say nope. I'm not running. It's gonna be too late. He's not going to. Whoever, I think Gavin Newsom's going to replace him. Won't be able to go in 3 battleground states, and they're not going to say it's not fair, and they're going to do something to shut the election down.
Do you think they're going to try to pull the, like the World War I thing going? Yeah, with Roosevelt.
World War Z.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. 2.
Here's what I believe that's going to happen. Like the whole gamut up until the inauguration. I believe they're going to do this election thing. It's going to be a huge, like almost civil war, and then Biden's going to be pulling out the old martial law, and then it's going to get really shitty, and there's going to be a lot of death.
Yeah, we would all be the first to go out in that scenario, guys. So if that's what it was.
Right.
But
Mm.
what, and there's so many different, characters and stuff that post stuff online and whatnot. And so, I'll take people for what, for their word. And I try not to bag on anybody other than, like we were talking about earlier, Austin Steinbar. My two, I got a special place in my heart for Austin Steinbar and Phil Godlewski. Those two I'll bag on. So anybody else, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt. And, whenever I post and I talk about certain people say, oh, well, he's whatever, or she's whatever. And that's the problem with our side is we're too much into, trying to claw all over each other and be the top dog. And no, listen to me, I'm better, or my buddy's better than her. Yeah. And so, I'm hearing some interesting stuff. I was flipping through again and I heard that girl Tori. Now, apparently she used to be CIA, and I know for a fact that she did enter an affidavit for election fraud in Arizona. And now she had come out all, kind of.
She is a twisted ass bitch.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Like, I don't know her, personally at all. But she came out and said, hey, listen, I am going to be testifying in, I think she said September, in a DC court having to do with the Arizona election, in her affidavit specifically. So if she is on the up and up and what she's saying is true, that's great. But I don't know what will happen going forward. But I think we're going to have some sort of an issue. I think they're going to be exposed the closer we get to this election. The more closer we get to it, I think the more of this stuff's going to keep coming out on these guys.
Yeah, I agree. Lori, do you think we're going to have an election? What are your thoughts? You still torn?
I'm torn. I kind of don't think we will. I think other things are going to happen before then, but
So
it's just my guess.
you talk about other things happening. I want to share this delta with you today. See what your guys' thoughts are. Is that because I've always been a Jeff Sessions fan. Sessions began the Epstein investigation when that was, so this was today, July 8th. Sessions began the Epstein investigation when that was revealed. Those who doubted may see the light. The wheels of justice turn slow, but when they turn, they are powerful. 10 times speed now underway. We are back online. Pelosi attempted to block. This says the underlying piece. Examination of political corruption as it is actually practiced in the halls of Congress. In his investigation, Schweitzer found one single member of Congress against whom no allegations could be held, who had never taken a dime that was not his, had never cut any backroom deals, had never simply played the game. That individual is Jeff Sessions. And look what it says on here. Sometimes you need to take one for the team publicly before you are vindicated as a hero. So do you think some Epstein information? I mean, we just had the drop of unclassified documents, last Thursday? Do you think there might be some Epstein stuff about to come out? I mean, there's also another lawsuit out on P. Diddy. Do you think P. Diddy might be connected to Epstein? You think it might be like a conglomerate of leaders? What are your thoughts, Ryan?
Are you going down the DeSantis road?
No, I'm thinking, Epstein might be much bigger than what we thought. It's not just him. It's not just one eye. I think it's many.
Right. Yeah. A thought I had was when that list is fully released, how many people on that list were plants,
Mm-hmm.
like witnesses, just to go there to testify, take the stand. They didn't do anything wrong. I mean, all video will show the whole place is on camera.
Exactly.
Absolutely agree.
So I go back and forth on that. And, back to your point about will there not be an election? There's something about that Myanmar thing that just I can't let go personally. That's just me.
The Myanmar where they practiced the military coup.
Yep.
Yep.
Why would they show that to us? And why would they let us know? Like, I kind of look at it as T-ball versus Major League Baseball with the size of the country. And they showed it to us for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe remember that weird lady
the
on
reaction.
TikTok with the dancing as the military trucks passed behind her. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, she was working out.
Yeah.
I remember she was working out, yeah. That's crazy.
What do you think,
We'll
Space Shot?
see. We'll see. Hey, and you know what else could happen, guys, too, right? You realize that if, people are like, 2020's done, it's over with, it ain't going to happen. Well, what if some miracle of God, which I do believe we're on God's plan here, because, if you look up like the Kim Clement stuff, and my buddy Patriot Politics, he had sent me something just before we started the show, a Kim Clement prophecy about, I think it was Chicago or something, but so many of the things he talked about Trump coming out, even though I'm not the biggest fan, but he talks about a simple stone, and then he says, "Remember the name." And I'm like, "Wait, stone? Remember the name?" And he talks about, he will take a simple stone and he will take these people down. But he said, "A simple stone, remember the name." He will build a wall of protection around the country. I mean, I'm thinking, right? And I don't know. And dude, actually, I'm kind of going off on these weird tangents here, but there was a post I was reading, and I actually read one of those Entheos posts 2 weeks ago or so, and I didn't know this, and maybe a lot of people in the chat may not have known as well, that due to President Trump, before he was president, years and years ago, being at a meeting with Roger Stone, and that meeting going over late, he is alive and with us today. Had he been on that helicopter, he would be dead, President Trump. There was two, a pilot and somebody else, or a pilot and a co-pilot. They ended up passing away that day. And it just so happens that, he happened to be at a Roger Stone meeting. And coincidentally, in that same post, Entheos had remarked how the same thing happened, not the exact same thing, but Ben Carson and his wife, Candy, had also missed basically being killed as well, just barely. So I'm thinking he's teeing up Ben Carson as a vice president. That's been my pick for, I don't know, the last couple of months. And then everybody's telling me, "Oh, he's too weak, he's too soft, and whatever." I don't know. And actually, let me just, I'll let you guys stew with all that. But
he is a
I don't
quietly
even know where I was
spoken
originally
gentleman.
going.
So didn't you hear Trump tell him to get tougher on the media?
Yeah, and it's like, do we need him to be strong? You know what I mean? We don't need a vice president to be strong. We need him to be smart. We need him to be like a quiet guy, like a Pence kind of, but not a traitor. But he seems like a good guy, and I mean, most of these other guys, like, I feel like I'm a pretty good at judge a character when I can see somebody, when I see them interact with somebody, when I can see their talk, I can vibe off of them, I guess is the best way to say it. I'm telling you, my women's intuition is like none other. I can tell you somebody who's being deceitful and not a good person, and not to say it's going to work, on everybody, but I get the good guy feeling from Ben Carson. Like, he has like a certain warmth to him that you don't see off a lot of people, and a lot of these other people in DC are just corrupt friggin' stooges. And just so you guys know, I don't know if you're aware, look into JD Vance, guys. He is, he had a movie written about him. His freshman college professor said, "Hey, you should have somebody write a movie about you." And it had something to do with his upbringing or whatever. But, guess who wrote it? Or who directed it? Ron Howard. Oh, who was in it? Meryl Streep, Amy Adams. Not Amy Adams. Is it Amy Adams, the redheaded girl? Yeah. And so some heavy hitters, like a heavy hitter director, couple heavy hitter, people helped this guy write his life story of a guy who's a friggin' freshman in college. Like, what? And what was the big thing about him? I still don't know what it is, like why it was such a big deal. And then he's a Yale guy, I think it was, and Harvard as well. But our doc did a really good little dig on this guy. And then he also took he got put in charge of a lot of money, like really early on, when he should not have. Hey, what's up, Happy? See Happy in the chat there commenting.
What was that Zuckerberg movie? Like, you struck a chord with me. What was that Zuckerberg movie that they made?
Like, The Social Network?
Yeah, just
in my opinion, that's just to get everybody to believe their side of the story. Yep.
Totally. That's where I was going with it. Just to suck in that generation.
Yeah, the Social Dilemma movie, not The Social Network, but that whole Social Dilemma. And then there's like the AI dilemma. Like, dude, those things, I don't know how deep you dug into AI, Space Shot, but if they don't have a control on that shit by now, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Yep. So just to circle back, I don't want to say that word.
Saki style.
The Delta for tomorrow. This is one of the biggest Q posts. Is JFK Jr. alive? No. Q. When the fake news can attack you directly using facts. So is this information? Now hang with me for a second. And then we talk about so much Flynn news today. Again, this is July. This is Delta for tomorrow. And then you have the big post, AG and Rogers meeting, Durham and Rogers meeting. Why did Rogers retire? Why did Rogers visit POTUS at Trump Tower without authorization shortly after a skiff was installed? Why did select former ABC directors call for removal of Rogers? Why did POTUS move his transition command center base of Ox from Trump Tower to the very next day? There's two more. There's a big direct reason why Flynn's new attorney is seeking security clearance. Then listen carefully again. Note past 2 years. Note next 6 years. This is from 2019. You were told what was going to happen. You were told what battles we face. Strategic, pre-planned, Patriots in control. These are some significant Q posts coming up. Then you didn't think the Epstein investigation began a few months ago, did you? It was all under the direction and oversight of AG Sessions, which goes to my previous post. Expect a lot more to become public unsealing.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen there, Stormy. I think just like the Q drop said, right, and I believe a lot of you guys probably are along the same probably mindset of me, is thinking like, hey, news is going to unlock, and when they posted something in 2018, you're thinking, all right, maybe something will happen next week or the week after. But we're not really thinking 6 years later it's gonna, and then all of a sudden, bang, news unlocks. Oh, Hunter's case 6-3 ends on a 6-11. Oh, yeah, we got that one. I mean, it's crazy just to think, and it really does. Like, I think over these since the inauguration, like I said, it was like a gut punch for I think a lot of us, and ever since then, it's like they knew exactly how much to give us to keep us not just like entertained or on the mission, but knowing that we're here to do something, and we are where we're supposed to be. And we've had like confirmations from Dan Scavino quite a few times as well, like at least a handful of times. Like one of the favorite ones that we had was there was an image of Sylvester Stallone on an airplane, and he had a Q picture on, and he said something like heading into the storm on the picture, and I was like, that just can't be a coincidence, right? And then so we said, Dan, hey, because we always joke, like Dan listens to Table of Titans. We said, hey, Dan, if you're listening, post out something to do with Rocky. And then we were like, oh, what do you think, guys? And like, something to do with the Rocky theme song. All right. And it was like 6 or 7 days later, he posts out Tiger Woods tying up his cleats, and he's whistling the Eye of the Tiger. Now, that could be a coincidence. I don't know. But 6 or 7 days after that, are we where we're supposed to be, Dan? And that was, quite a ways into it. It was after the inauguration as well. So we've been getting these little shots in the arm to let us know, hey, don't go anywhere. We still got it. And we're starting to see a lot, not a lot, but we're starting to see some of the familiar faces that kind of dropped off a few years ago after the inauguration. And I don't hold any grudges for people, because it definitely looked like crap. It's over. It looked that way. But then we started seeing, oh, wait, why are all these videos edited in exactly the same way on inauguration day? Like every cut right down to the millisecond. Why is it, sunny as hell in all these videos that you see of inauguration day, but it's rainy on the video where the guy's up on the press pool talking to the other press people? It's like, wait, you said Kamala Harris just spoke, and it's like drizzling, and you look at them, they're all squinting. It's so sunny, right? And then, the issues with the, did they turn their back on the president? Did he have a, 21 gun salute? Was it a funeral? Was it this? Was it that? So yeah, there's a lot of people trying to be opportunistic out there, but there are some real things happening as well.
I needed the Assange thing. I needed that.
Yeah.
No restrictions.
Yeah, that was huge.
Like, I needed that.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah, it was.
Remember the post? What was you might have the site, and remember, this is when. So what was Julian Assange doing for the last 5-7 years, guys? Was he in an Ecuadorian embassy doing fuck all? Pardon my French, but like, was he just biding his time trying to get his trial and stuff straight, or was he doing something else with the team? I don't know, because when you say you go back in time and he was in the Ecuadorian embassy, the post came across and it said something along the lines of, "You may have the site, but we have the source." And it's like,
Right.
wait, you have Julian? And I thought he was in England in an embassy, but maybe not. I don't know. So yeah, so many questions, right?
I mean,
And
was
it's
he the
great.
first guy released from protective custody?
Mm,
Don't
no.
know.
No.
And you talk about, I think someone in the chat said that, I think it was Tony, that plus Trump said VP pick would be at the debate and Gates was there. Absolutely agree. There was a video post shortly after with Trump showing a video, but then Elon Musk posts this, which is pretty weird, worth watching. Getting ready to moderate tonight's alternate presidential debate with Robert Kennedy Jr. Now they say this is John Stossel, but man, that face looks familiar. I don't know.
John Stossel?
Stossel, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, John Stossel.
Let's
Man,
see.
does that resemble Junior? I mean,
Side profile?
Let me see.
I don't know.
Can you make it larger?
Yeah,
So this guy is known as John Stossel?
John Stossel.
That's
John
not John Stossel. That's not him.
John Stossel.
No way. Nope.
I never heard.
I mean, I could not confirm if JFK Jr. ever held his cup like that. I think that's a sign of some kind. And why in the hell is blue masking tape on the seat in front of him? I've been trying to decode this picture for a while. I don't know why. But this is a post from Elon on June 27th at 6:30. If you guys want to look it up, but
That's painter's tape, right? Is that
Yeah.
what that is?
Yes.
yeah, like an artist. I
Yeah.
mean, this is RFK Jr. standing on the debate stage with the other two over here on a big screen, but supposedly this John Stossel dude is
Not him, dude.
is moderating the debate. But who's this guy sitting right here? Because you would think
That's
the
not John
moderator is
Stossel.
sitting right here.
I think Stossel is the guy in the
Is this
suit.
guy? Can you see my mouse? I don't know if you can see my mouse, but
I
the
can
guy
see
in the gray jacket.
Yeah, I mean that guy definitely has definitely got some salt and peppery hair for sure.
Right?
Could it be? I mean, with the kind of, I don't know. Look at that ear though. That earlobe looks huge. I don't know if that's like normal or what.
I don't know. I don't
That's
know,
a big
man.
ass, that's a big ass earlobe. Damn. I'm an ear guy, right? I'm into the ears.
Hey, so Spaceshot, did you know that we did a draft, like a fantasy draft of like all sorts of shit? Like who was gonna like come back alive? And,
Oh,
Who's gonna be arrested?
What do you guys think about Michael Jackson?
He was a top pick.
Right? Yeah.
Dude, my top
I mean,
pick.
you guys saw that guy, Dave or whatever, the burn victim guy,
Dave. Yep.
who sounds just like him.
Just like him.
Oh.
And where's that guy now? Like, I wonder if anybody, knows where he lives or whatever. If he lives in Neverland Ranch.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like when the list is exposed, right? Was he a plant? Did he go there to gather information on the flight line? We'll find out. We'll find out who flew where and why and everything.
Well, I've been saying for a long time, whistleblowers are going to save this country, and we're going to have a lot of people we think are good that are evil, and a lot of evil people is going to turn out to be heroes.
Yep,
True.
I agree with you. I think that's what keeps us humble.
Yep.
Agree. Yes.
Just wish I could get a sneak peek. One of the guys I like to go to the end of the book and just read a little bit at the end.
Yes.
I mean, I love the Chevron ruling too.
That's huge.
That's going to be. What do you guys think about that?
I almost think that's
man.
Yeah, that's great. And I almost think I keep mentioning it during the show, and maybe I got to get off my lazy, figuratively get off my lazy butt and re-look at the case, because there was another case. You guys remember New York Gun Club versus, I don't even know who it was, but it was about concealed carry permits. And essentially, the long and short of it is you had to go to the attorney general, fill out a paperwork, give them a reason, and then maybe they'd give it to you, maybe they wouldn't. Well, they took it to like the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that it was shall not be infringed. It was an infringement on your Second Amendment rights to have you basically jump through hoops to be able to carry a gun, which it says you should be able to in the Constitution.
Mhm.
So basically, their ruling was essentially that. Oh geez, what was it? Was it the ATF or what the hell was it? It was basically along the line, something along the lines of Chevron, basically saying like these administrations or these organizations don't have congressional, they're not congressionally certified or whatever, so they can't make the rules, right? Whereas the Chevron thing goes into, the ruling as far as how each law is basically deciphered, where it doesn't automatically go to their side of it, right? So I think it's huge. I mean, take a look just at the Supreme Court stuff that we see in the last couple of months, guys, and then the Roe versus Wade. It's like it's very clear that they're stripping these people's power away. They're taking back power from the federal government and giving it back to us, the people, just like he said he was.
Well, if you look at the the copy paste campaign, that's administrative law. That's what they were trying to do by passing that and grouping the the ORR when they were trying to group the CPS and the UACs, the unaccompanied children,
Mm-hmm.
and the CPS. That's administrative law.
Yep.
They have no.
And
It's yeah.
Well, the other thing too is we don't go by the Constitution. So, like you said, it's statute law, essentially, right? And if you go down to the nuts and bolts of it, it's really maritime admiralty law.
It's a lot of brainwashing.
Yeah. Oh, they're huge. I mean, and the whole thing of like you go into a courtroom and it's supposed to be symbolizing you going onto a boat, right? Like you go into the wooden things, you open them up. And that's how, and they get you to, you don't want to contract with these people, right? So like, I don't want to go into a whole nother side story about this, but like, just look at like the paperwork when they give you like a court summons or your driver's license or anything like that. That's official. Your name is in what? Yeah, your name is in all capital letters, and it's not because the keyboard couldn't only type upper and lower case. It's because that is your straw man. That is your business you. And until you contract with them, they cannot prosecute the human, blood. I want to say individual. Legally, you're an individual. A person, right? What's a person? Oh, it's that guy over there. He's a person. Well, a person is actually a business, right? A person legally is a business. So all these different laws and stuff that they obscure from us and whatnot. It's crazy. But you know how you contract with them? This is how slick it is, right?
I love it.
They send you a summons to your house and you say, oh, you got to go to court on this day, whatever, room 10, blah, blah, blah. You go in there. What do? You sit down. They do a roll call. Hey, Jane Smith. Oh, there's one. You just said you're Jane Smith. All right. Then when it's your turn, they're going to call your name, Jane Smith, to the front. Boom. You just came to the front. That's number 2. What's the first thing they tell you to do? State your name and address. Hey, I'm Jane Smith. I am that legal fiction right there. Oh, hey, thank you, Jane Smith. Now we can prosecute you as being a person, and you're not an individual. And now you no longer have your human rights with you. You have your person's rights, which is basically shit out of luck because we're stacking the deck against you, prosecutor, judge, and even your attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when you look at like tax evasion or any kind of tax law, right? Go to court. Nobody does not pay zero. They will write it down to an agreeable amount. You always hear about these people, $500,000. And then they write a check for $1,000 and they're free. And then you want to get into the whole bar, right? That whole party with the judges and what they swear to and the whole deal. It
British accredited or whatever the hell they call it.
It's pretty wild when you know about it.
Dude, you want to see one that's going to steam some people out there, right? And if you're not aware of this, you're going to be steamed now. And some people who are on the older side may remember the taxes. They used to tell you what it was, right? And what happened? Oh, we got some lobbyists involved from TurboTax or H&R Block or whatever, and they started having them do, you know what, you guys shouldn't do all this, because they know what it is, right? You do all your numbers up, and they have a computer, and they're just matching it. All right, does this look like it matches these numbers? Yep. They have all that information. So why can't they just send you a freaking piece of paper like they used to do? Why? Because lobbyists got involved, and that's why you go to a freaking H&R Block for, $300-400 for a family or whatever it is now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I always point out to people Article 6, Paragraph 2, states' rights. Right? And paraphrasing here, I'm not going to read it, but it states' rights. No law shall contradict the supreme law of the land, the Constitution, period. Any gun law is illegal.
Yeah.
Anything they say, it's all bullshit.
What about your right to free travel, right? Stormy, I don't know. I won't even kill you to do it, but just take my word for it. It's in Rhode Island. It 100% is, and I'm guessing every other state is the exact same way. It tells you that anybody that drives a motor vehicle must register their vehicle. Do you guys know?
Yep. I'm well aware of what you're talking about. You mean it's all the registration stuff that goes back to your Chevron case.
I think we lost him.
Oh no! I was wondering. He stopped there for a minute, didn't he?
Yeah.
There was a little glitch.
Yeah. Sorry, I was in the middle of trying to add Miss Trix as a moderator.
Mod.
Oh, it has to do with actually being in the act of commerce.
Am I back?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I went to a different tab on my phone here because I was looking up something. I just wanted you guys to see this. This is crazy. All right, can you guys hear me okay right now?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, and just so you guys know, what I'm about to read you is definitions from Rhode Island State section Title 31, motor and other vehicles. Okay. And just so you guys are aware, this is the definition department, and this is the only place you will find this word. D, automobile. It's the only place you're going to find the word automobile in the whole thing is under the definitions. Means, for registration purposes, every motor vehicle carrying passengers other than for hire. All right, so it's you're in a motor vehicle, but you're not making money. Okay, so you're traveling essentially. Okay, you want to hear what a motor vehicle is? You're gonna love this one. You guys know out there, and maybe one of you might. I know somebody who drives one of these, but it's just
it's only with commerce, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. So anybody out there, you must have a driver's license if you own and operate a motor vehicle. Well, a motor vehicle, as defined by the state of Rhode Island, means every vehicle that is self-propelled or propelled by electric power obtained from overhead trolley wires, but not operated upon rails, except vehicles moved exclusively by human power, and EPAMD, and electric motorized bicycle, as defined in subsection G of this section, and motorized wheelchairs. So a motorized wheelchair is considered a motor vehicle in Rhode Island. Trolley wires, overhead trolley wires. Anybody drive any of those?
So are you telling me you could get a DUI in a wheelchair?
You probably could if it had a motor on it.
You can get a Dewey on a lawnmower.
Really?
Lawnmower.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
I'd like to test that theory. That's freaking hilarious. But I mean, as you can see, guys, they lie about everything. They abscond everything. Yeah. It's like in the beginning, I was like, yeah, they lie about everything. But now the more I dig into everything, yeah, they really do lie about everything.
They perverted
everything. Like the doctor, you're born on the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And delivered
the birthing department.
Yep. Your mother's water, right? Delivered through the canal with the water.
Yeah, and I'm still looking for a valid reason why my birth certificate is written on banknote paper, but I know the answer.
in all capital, your name's in all capital too, right?
I can tell you
on my birth certificate, no, it actually isn't. That's the weird part. On my Social Security, it is. Yeah, some are upper and low, but I think I don't know. It's weird, but like the official stuff that you get, like that's the actual copy that I keep for myself.
And
So
that's not the original.
I know it was a copy. Yeah, it was a copy.
Yeah.
This one is.
Mm.
But the Social Security number is legit. And here's another really wild one for the kids out there when I get themselves into some bank wire fraud trouble. Just so you guys are all aware, every one of you out there that holds a Social Security card has a bank account in some bank in the United States that has multiple millions of dollars in it, and that bank account has your name on it, and it has your Social Security number is the bank account number. Well, so I was, before Q, I was doing a lot of constitutional stuff, and I started seeing these guys talking about this treasury account or federal treasury account that people have and whatnot, and I'm like, maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try to buy like a vape tank or something like that on Amazon. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to risk it. I don't want to go to jail for freaking, wire fraud or something ridiculous like that, right? That's a heavy charge. And like, I swear, just as it was like a God moment. Literally the next morning I wake up and the Federal Reserve put out a bulletin and it said, "Oh, we understand people are trying to access these accounts that people think that people have," and along the line. So it's basically trying to let you think that, hey, they don't exist. But then it said, anybody found to be using these, and I'm like, all right, 5 years, $10,000 fine, $50,000 fine. It says may be liable for late fees through your financial institution. I was like, what? Excuse me, dude. So I went and made an account over at what's the number one check cashing verification?
Money Tree or some shit.
It's Telecheck. I think it's Telecheck. So it's a place that if like you own a business, you would call them up and say, hey, does this guy have $10,000 in the bank, and he's trying to write me a check for this, and they'd say, yeah, he has it or he doesn't. So I made an account with that. I made the account with my name, all the stuff growing up, my driver's license number. I put my Social Security number as my identifier, so Social Security number, and I gave them again the same number for the account number. And my one, and it's not going to be the same as yours, guys, but mine happened to be out of, and it's funny named is America's First Federal Credit Union in Montgomery, Alabama. That's where mine happened to be. And well, I went out there, made the account, and bought a vape tank. And guess what? Amazon got their money. I got my vape tank, and then I got greedy. and then so the next day, I'm like, shit, that worked. I could go for a PlayStation 4 or whatever the newest one was back then, right? Boom, put it through. Boom, goes through. I'm like, yes. 10 minutes later, I'm like, I don't know what made me go back and look, and I look, and it says, canceled. I'm like, what? Canceled. So I call them up. Amazon's like, yeah, it's just the note. It says this account cannot make online purchases. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I go back to Telecheck, and I gave them all the information. The guy's like, oh, we can do an audit on your account. So I again give them all the information I just told you guys, and I had this letter up till you're going like 7 or 8 years ago now at least, and I had this letter up to like six weeks ago, maybe 3 months ago. But I got a letter from Telecheck like 3 or 4 weeks later, and I'm fully expecting to open up the thing and it's saying, we don't know what you're talking about. Like, this account does not exist, and and it just simply said, after a lengthy review of your account, we find that your account is now able to make online payments. So I'm like, dude, they just verified that I have an account, that it has that name, and it has my Social Security number as the account number. Like, they verified it. You get one digit wrong on any of that stuff, like go try to wire money to somebody and mess up one digit and see what happens. They ain't getting the money. It ain't going, right? You mess up one digit and it all goes out the window. I gave that guy all that information, and weeks later they said, yes, your account can now make online payments. So I went back to Amazon, tried to make another small payment, and what happened was they kept doing it. So Amazon were like, no, you want to buy something, we need a debit card or a credit card, and that's how we're going to do it. But alas, it's been tested, and they are real out there, guys.
Yeah, there's been people buy cars, and I think I've seen reports someone buying a house with it.
Yeah, they say you can charge off your they say it's very easy to use it to charge off your electric. So I don't know if people are aware of this. Your electric is paid for, right? You're getting double billed on your electricity. And it sounds ridiculous to even say it, but It is. Your credit pays for your electricity, and when they send you that bill, they're double dipping, and then they can still start your payment off for non-payment because of the way it's laid out. But in the open, they are getting paid twice, and a lot of these places do. It comes down to like kind of like the same idea as fractional reserve banking, as like when you get a loan for a house for like 200,000. You know, the bank didn't have that. They get it from the Federal Reserve, but the bank doesn't just get 200,000. It gets 200,000 plus like 20% because it needs to hold extra money in the vault when it has all this extra money out. So when you get money for a house loan, the bank gets money as well. That's why no matter what the economy is, guys, what do you always see? You always see one friggin' bank being built somewhere, right? Never finished. Always just being built. Always one.
Has anybody ever had their credit card? Has anybody ever had their credit card stolen? Like their number?
Not me personally.
I haven't, thankfully.
Can I tell you something that is just bizarre?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I got my statement. I lived in Los Angeles for 3 years and then moved from there. This is way back, or late 1990s, early 2000s. And all of a sudden I saw the fraudulent charges. So the guy got ballsy, whoever it was, and they went to a Pizza Hut. That was their first charge with it, right?
And baller.
And then, this is bizarre. You stole my credit card and you went to a Christian bookstore. That was the next charge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And what busted them was they decided that they were going to get internet service with the card.
Oh my goodness.
My head was blown.
Do you want to hear a good one?
Yeah.
I got hosed for, I don't even remember. It was like almost 10 grand. They did a charge for $1.54, and then they bought a shitload of jewelry online for in-store pickup. The cops were sitting there waiting for them.
Are you serious? Dude, so
Yes.
I guess that's
Out
why
of
some
New
of these
York.
people, I guess that's why these people, need to steal, because they must be dumb as a friggin' box of rocks. Like my wife works at this place. Let's just say we'll just call it a fitness place, right? And wallets were going missing, phones were going missing, wallets were getting, money was missing. And long story short, what ended up catching this girl, it was like a 19-year-old chick. Apparently she's like a kleptomaniac, but she paid for her friggin' membership to that place with the stolen credit card. It's like how dumb can
How dumb
you
are
be?
you?
Like, go to another fitness place at the very least. You know what I mean? Like, oh my goodness.
I mean, the oxymoron of it all, right? You stole my credit card and you bought some stuff at a Christian
bookstore.
What?
Maybe he felt so bad he was trying to, change his ways.
Oh, the irony.
I'm just wondering what the next big shoe to drop is going to be, or what? Because I think Stormy, you might be onto something there with the Epstein stuff, right? Because that was dropped pretty quietly. Last week at like 1 PM, and nobody really said much about it.
Yep. Yeah, I think I retweeted and shared in Telegram, and there was some stuff in there I hadn't seen before, like video interviews, audio interviews. I think I'd seen the videotape tour of the Epstein house in Palm Beach before, but most of the stuff I hadn't seen before, which makes you wonder how the other stuff was released beforehand, right? I mean, I think we're seeing little bits and pieces, and that'll make us numb to when the big stuff comes out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, see, we showed you this 45-second clip. Now watch this 45-minute clip.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just trying to wrap my head. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, just this goldfish generation that we live in. I mean, people do not have a attention span much longer than about 8-10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
you gotta get
sad,
their
isn't it?
you gotta get their attention. You gotta get their attention. And then you can hit them with something longer because like, oh yeah, that looks familiar.
This
Because
thing.
I mean, Twitter told 120 characters. That's it, right?
Yeah.
When Twitter first came out,
Yeah.
Wow.
and now you can post a couple hour long video if you have a blue check mark. Outside of that, you can't go past what 5 minutes, I think. And now what TikTok you can go 30 minutes, an hour long. When it used to be what, a minute,
I think 3 minutes as long as
3 minutes. Yeah. So
I get anxiety when I just drive across like a university with that generation, right?
yep.
Because if you hit them, you're the one in trouble, even though they'll just walk right out in front of you, the phone in the
keep on the
face.
phone.
Yeah,
Probably texting the person
it's your fault.
walking next to him.
Yeah, it's your
Probably
fault.
texting the person walking next to him.
Well, I mean that's why these kids can't have verbal conversations. I mean, if you hire them and hold them accountable, lights out.
Mhm.
Have you heard
Brian
of
and
this?
I had this discussion earlier about me going back to college.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have one hell of a time with these kids.
and Jimmy, have you heard of these people that go on job interviews and they take their parents with them?
Yeah.
That's real.
We had one the other day.
Oh my god.
Tell me about that. I want to know more.
You're
How did that go?
You're coming to the hospital to take care of a patient, and your mom comes with you on an interview.
Right?
What?
Were you privy to that conversation? I'd like to know more if you could share anything.
Well, I mean, I think the mom answered most of the questions about. It was pretty much a reference in real time of how this person was raised, and it's just mind blowing.
That's amazing. What world do we live in?
Yeah, crazy out there. Hey, Stormy, I dropped you in the chat a link to that 6:30. Now, you guys can let me know if you think it's if it's Delta worthy or not. Just remember, we got a Q post on 6:30 talking about we hold these truths to be evident in that Q post, and President Trump reposted that as well. But then we have Joe Biden on the same day saying what?
Democracy is the essence of who we are. We're the most unique nation in the world in that we're not united based on race, ethnicity, geography. We're based on idea. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all women and men are created equal. It's in our Constitution. They're the two things that are the guardrails to make sure democracy is able to be sustained. It's all about being able to show up and vote, be able to have an opportunity to get a fair deal, an even chance. It all rests upon our Constitution, and democracy is the vehicle and the method that holds that together.
What the hell did he just say? I don't even know if he knows what he said.
What are the chances that is Trump's brother John?
Right?
Right.
I saw that a few days ago. I'm like, I mean, is there a reason Trump's brother passed away with COVID during COVID? I mean, I'm sure we all remember that day. I mean,
Robert David Steele.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, was he a skinnier guy, or because I don't really remember what his brother looked like.
I think he was skinnier than Trump at the time. But I mean, hell, with this Wegovy and these other medications, you can lose weight pretty quick. Although it sounds like you might become blind.
Oh God.
Yeah, but I
Well,
mean, actors and actresses have had roles where they've had to lose a lot of weight real quick or gain a lot of weight real quick. Yeah. So who's to say he?
Yeah, no, I think these significant weight loss drugs have been around for a long time. Hollywood's been using them, and now it's just becoming accessible for civilians. However, the side effects, you got to watch out for the side effect. I mean, if Safety RN still watching, I'm sure she'll jump in the chat here for long. But there's a lot of issues. I mean, what God pretty much says, we can't take the easy way out, right?
Right. I mean, I found personally over the last 4.5 years, the keto, paleo, caveman diet, like just high fat and meat,
Yeah.
it's amazing what it does for the human body.
Oh yeah, it makes you feel so much better.
Yeah, the energy level.
There
You guys, that was good.
was a question in the chat. We listened to Dr. Scott Young and Elijah streams last week. He was talking about Nassar Jassar. Is that true? Would love your input, Ryan and Space Shot.
I have no comment on that.
I mean, I don't see any, proof of that stuff. I would just say be wary of the people that are trying to tell you, go do this and go trade this. And we've seen our fair share of scammers over the years. I mean, but do I think that maybe, I don't think it's going to be a Nassara Jassara thing, but I think in the long and short of it, that we're going to have abundance in the end, right? And it's not going to be about, like, money is such a weird thing, right? Like, you don't really need money, right? We could all have everything we wanted, and we don't really need that money, that whole evil, the love of evil, the love of money, the root of all evil, right?
Right.
So I think in some way, shape, or form, they will make it so we will all have abundance. And whether that is, hey, we'll just give you a bunch of money, whatever, or we'll just make sure everybody has enough resources, you have your own area, and whatnot. But yeah, it's crazy. That's what everybody's killing each other over, just some money.
I agree with you on that.
We'll go around.
It's the slave system, as we were talking about earlier. The money.
Yes.
It's the slave system.
And it's like it needs to crash, right? And it's like at the same time, we don't want to see like United States go into a depression, like a Great Depression or something like that. But I think, us on the panel and all the people who are listening, not so much the normies on the other side, don't realize that this system is going to, one way or the other, it's going to come down, but it also needs to come down, and it needs to be fixed and put into a way that is beneficial for everybody. Because, we could all be living like Bill Gates right now. Everybody on this planet could be living with huge excess, right? And they tell you the opposite is true. Oh, no, there's way too many people, and there's not enough space for people. And, I mean, shit, we have no idea, like, what's on the other side of, Alaska? Like, Bird had said, size bigger than the United States over there, untapped, blah, 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 blah. And who knows how far it goes. Oh, and guys, you got to pop something in my head earlier about talking about health. You guys heard all this stuff about cholesterol lately?
Yeah.
Apparently there is no good and bad cholesterol. It's all good for you. And nobody apparently has ever died from cholesterol being too high.
Rush Limbaugh said that 20 years ago.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all bullshit, cholesterol.
Well, you guys remember the egg, right? Like you guys are all generally
back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys were around my age time, and it was for anybody who's younger. It's like, oh hey, drink your milk, have your butter, eat your eggs, and then it was like, well, maybe try some low fat milk, and then maybe some margarine, and then don't eat those yolks, and because they got high cholesterol, it's not good for you. And then it was like, well, no, we're back to eating the yolks again, and then it's like, no, remember those yolks we keep, back in the end. No,
here's some almond milk.
Yeah, right. There are no this week again, so it's just like everything. I bet you too. And I said this jokingly years ago, but I genuinely believe it's real now. That whole food pyramid, flip it upside down.
Totally,
that's probably what we're
100%.
supposed to be doing.
Yep,
100%.
Absolutely agree.
It's all who has the money and what they get out of it, right? Influencing with money, the slave system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about the ozone layer?
Yeah.
Shit.
Right.
Oh yeah, carbon dioxide, the stuff that's really good for us.
Well,
not good for us.
All the Aquanet.
Yeah,
right.
Don't break any of that styrofoam, guys. Don't you remember? That's it's every time you break a piece of styrofoam, it's shattering it's shattering a hole in the sky, and all this stuff's getting let in, and it's like, oh my goodness, no. CO2s are good. Plants breathe it in. What do we breathe in? Oh, what the plants breathe out. That's right. So we need plants and trees? Yeah, kind of.
I think it all goes back to why is put self-imposed limitations on yourself. Anything's possible. And if your mind can accept that, the world's going to be better quickly.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, they had everything bigger. Like they had Beer cock. Dude, they had trees that were, I like this guy. He does older videos, or he used to do older videos on YouTube, but he goes by the name of Hangman 1128, I think it is. Check out some of his videos of him walking around with his daughter, and they look up at they're taking a little trip in nature, and you look up and it's like, oh, a little side of a mountain there, cool. And it's like, no, that's not the side of a mountain, that's a friggin' tree branch. It's like wait, it's like what? It's like, yeah, no, that's a tree. It's like, and it's huge. I'll see if I can pull it up for you. You guys will be like amazed, because the cool part of it is his daughter. She's like, oh, Dad, this one's loose right here, and she flips it over, and it looks like moss and like stone on the outside. And you flip it over, it looks like a friggin' panel you put right on your floor in your house. It's like, what the hell? These are all trees, and they're huge. And he's like, this isn't even the tree, the tree core. This is a tree branch, and you're talking like 100 feet long, like crazy thick. So yeah, see if I can find that video. You guys you'll love that. And that goes back to the whole crap about they lie to us about everything, absolutely everything. Ooh, I better plug it.
That's why Ryan and I had like an hour and a half discussion the other day on it's everything is a lie. I take everything that they told us as a lie, and I don't believe in flat Earth, and I don't believe it's round. I just believe it's not what they say it is.
It's there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
That's it. Taco.
Yep.
The taco. Spaceshot, you sent another video. You want me to share it?
Yeah.
That was just an old one. That was just a funny one, but it's good to watch because it just shows you another mistake. Like, what was that? Oh, was that Joe Biden talking to somebody? Yeah. It's like, watch this boom.
Not at the moment.
How fake that thing looks.
When you're able to share thoughts with other countries, is it allies or neighbors first? Who will be the first country?
There's something more to this. If you'll go back, look in the background, in the far background.
What is that?
It's called CGI.
Stormy and I were reading the Clinton and Aberdeen emails, and they were talking that they don't even have to show up for appearances. They already have CGI. I was out of the Twitter. The Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you guys?
What were you talking about in the background, Lori?
Yes, to the guy in the black suit with the mask.
Over here?
Yep.
Not at the moment.
He's running the wrong way. I'm not sure if he landed on Marine One, but that grass definitely looks dead.
But look at how he's kind of. It looks like he has one of those anonymous masks on.
It's like a ninja suit for sure.
Mm-hmm. Kind of curious.
He seems fit.
Nothing to see here. And what about the guy? Remember they filmed that guy walking through the parking lot who was Joe Biden, and they're like, "Oh, this is the double," and he turned around and like waved at him. Hey, where's the police, Joe?
Hey, what was that? What was that guy's name for the Buffalo Bills? Remember that whole deal?
The guy that didn't die.
The guy that died on the field because nobody does CPR for 9 minutes.
Right.
And then what cardiologist would let you jump up and down like a lunatic in a skybox 2 weeks later after a massive heart attack like that?
Insane.
A bad one.
Yeah. and how they wrote him off. Like I was guessing, with our draft, it goes along those lines. I wonder how they're going to play him off. Like, is he going to die in gang violence? Is it going to be a car accident? Sure enough, he was on the kickoff team and then was gone. He was the best safety in the league. One of the best, I should say.
Damar Hamlin. Yep.
Damar Hamlin.
Thank you.
And that's what they did to him. To your point about people not paying attention and having zero attention span.
And all the numbers that represented what he was a significant number, and the person he tackled or tried to tackle a significant number. I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
All of it.
Not to mention Aaron Rodgers with his was on the 33-yard line at the
And the dude called it.
Yeah. The dude called it the night before. I mean, yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
It's twisted. Yeah, but you got to be paying attention.
Man, I was so
What's
excited for
your
the round.
moment? What's your most memorable moment of this whole entire since Q started?
Who's going first?
I'll go first because mine's
Spaceshot.
cheesy.
Oh, go ahead.
I've been doing this all alone for a couple of years.
Check.
And
Are you there?
Check.
And then
Yeah,
I
we can hear
found
the Spaceshot.
on
Okay.
I found on TikTok, people that were talking about it. I didn't know what Q was at the time because I started following Assange's stuff on WikiLeaks. That's where I kind of started my journey. Then I found these people on TikTok and they were talking about Telegram, and I was just so excited. That was like best moment of the whole movement, was to find others. That's it.
No, I agree. What about you,
Spaceshot,
Ryan?
what was your most memorable moment of this whole
Finding
movement?
you guys, and many other people, and we're all friends, and you know who I'm talking about, and that's my most memorable moment of just the journey I personally have been on, that God took care of me through the whole thing and showed me the path, and just strength and believing. Right, that's been my most memorable moment, is coming back to God. Period. End of discussion. I mean, I can't even debate it with anybody. It's
Amen,
beautiful.
I'm trying to think. I'm still trying to think too.
I can tell you mine
so many
real
crazy
quick.
ones. Go ahead,
Drinking beer with Cash Patel.
That's a good one.
Mine was drinking beer with One-Legged Patriot.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Mine was never mind.
Mine was never mind.
It's all about connecting with others, Lori. I mean, it's all the same.
Yeah.
It is. It's. I would say the whole thing in general, is meeting up with a bunch of like-minded people and realizing, like you were saying there, Lori, that we're not the only people that think crazy like this. Like, oh, there are other people that think like I think out there, and there's not only is there people like that, but there are a lot of them. Yeah. And not only that, but there are a great community of great people that are more than willing to help people out. With information, prayers, what have you, just a great community altogether. And, as far as the Q post and stuff like that, and we kind of went over one earlier, and I wanted to bring this up earlier too, which was, the Rachel Chandler post, right? Yeah. You guys remember, and I discussed this last week sometime, the day that was happening was Rachel Chandler. It was like, I don't know, August, September, whatever, of 2018, somewhere in that time frame. And then they kept trying to give us hints like, hey, friends, think Friends. And it's like, well, think Friends. Well, now later on we realized it's like Rachel, Chandler, Phoebe, right? Like the cast from Friends, they were trying to tell us Rachel Chandler. And then they said, look at Rachel.Chandler. And then Bree, who does the graphics for my channel, she was like, that's an Instagram account. And I'm like, what? And I still, to this day, I think I maybe made 5. I don't even think 5 Instagram posts ever. So I don't even know anything much about it. She's like, yeah, that's an Instagram handle. So she went over there, and live as it was happening, they friggin' unlocked her locked Instagram so people could get in there and get those pictures. So if anybody in the chat doesn't realize the reason that we have those pictures of Epstein's closed caption security footage and pictures from Rachel Chandler's Instagram at all is because the Q team told people to go there, and then while people were like, all right, well, it's locked, ba-boom, it unlocked. And everybody started going through it like crazy. That to me was like, damn, these dudes got some control.
And then now why I wanted to bring it up today is because it's like another piece of information, but beyond that, it's like you couldn't just like hack it and do something like that, like off the cuff, right? Especially if you're a part of the government or something like that should be highly illegal. So it leads me to believe that they had the okay in some way, shape, or form to do that, which again leads back to the plan.
The plan.
Possibly have been seized already.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and I have to say another one because I just got in trouble via text with Tony.
Well, while we're having fun, Enoch told me I had to play this and see someone's reaction.
Are you playing the chicken wing song?
Ryan's wings are the best, juicy, crispy, past the test. Drummies top the rest, two bones can't contest. Sauce them up when they're done, crispy goes second to none. On the grill or in the pan, Ryan's wings make you fan. Juicy, crispy, every bite, drummies cooking all night. Ryan knows just how to do, tastes so good they'll change your view. Secret recipe, they say, love them hot any day. Ryan's wings will make you sway in the bluegrass way. When you bite, you know it's true. Ryan's wings got the flavor brew. Two bones might be just okay, but drummies take you away. Juicy, crispy, every bite, drummies cooking all night. Ryan knows just how to do, tastes so good they'll change your view.
Dude, I love Enoch's AI music. It's AI music. I love it.
I love Enoch. I told him he and I definitely have to cook together.
Oh, yeah.
You must cook some good chicken wings, Ryan. I can't wait to try them one day, man.
I'm telling you, they're best in the world, right, Enoch?
Enoch's not here, but I'm sure he would say yes.
A lot of
Spaceshot.
chicken wing song.
Dude, we all met up in Detroit, like dude, a ton of us all met up in Detroit. We're going to North Carolina also, so you should try to get there.
Oh, pop over. It's only like, I don't know, like 14 hours south. Yeah.
14.
No, it's only like 3,000 miles for me.
No.
I'm going too, Jimmy. I made my mind up last night. I'm going. I'm going to figure it out.
Flap those wings and fly on over.
I want to drive.
We were talking about bringing a mobile deep fryer where I can make these wings.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I told them last night, they are the best you've ever had in your life. They're crispy. They're juicy. Enoch, I know you're listening and you're laughing your ass off right now. They're not rubbery. They come right off the bone. Everyone's laughed at me until they've actually had them, and they're like, damn, could you make some more?
Hey, we'll be consuming copious amounts of good things made by Mother Nature.
That's right.
I like that. Yep.
Thank you, Fredo Awakening, for the Rumble Rant. Working but lurking, fun show, all regarding Rachel Chandler. Chandler equals child handler. These people are sick. Christ is king. Have a good night.
Amen.
Love you, brother.
Rachel Chandler, the procurer, child handler.
That's right.
Mr. Severe in the house right there.
It's going to be interesting how it rolls up.
Hey, look at that other video Spaceshot just put in there.
Oh yeah. I dropped that other one about the wood. It's like the 2-minute mark, but if you want to go a little bit before, you can see the size of it. But it's just like more shit they lie about, guys. It's crazy.
It's an avalanche.
Yeah, an avalanche of red pills, right?
That's right.
Yeah, he has something about his love story about his cat and his dog. I don't know.
Oh, that cat's ugly as hell, man.
Right?
Oh,
What have you done with Mr. Bigglesworth?
Hairless. Look at that thing.
That dog's like, what the hell?
I think he had cancer. Leave him alone. No, one of the, I guess the dog or the cat, one of them had cancer. I don't know which one. But yeah, giant tree remains built under whatever. It's basically that money shot is that like two. It's like two.
So I want to show you something.
Like
I want you to look at this really close, okay? And remember, this is a small version. I want you to look at this. And then you come up here. Everything I've been showing you, in all my videos, not just this one, okay? And here's the center, okay? It's a tight radius, and it gets bigger as it goes out. The bigger it is, the flatter it's going to be in a distance around the radius. I mean, the circumference of it, okay? And you see the rings here, but you gotta look at this like in a 3D type of view, okay? Not looking down at a stump, okay? Imagine this right here laid down flat. I'll put a picture in here again of a better example than what I have to show you here.
Do you guys have like column or basalt where you live?
What is it?
Is that Jimmy?
Column or basalt? Column or basalt?
No, I don't know.
I'll take a picture of it and show you.
Wait till he flips this thing over when he shows you. It's crazy.
Instead of upright, you understand that this is not the color. This is all just discolored from the weather and the elements. So this is what you see. So my daughter peeled a piece of this off. You know, it's deceiving because it's got moss and it's discolored. But when you peel a piece off, it actually looks like living wood. But that's what it originally looks like. All of this. Okay, and if you were to do the same with that, okay, that's not the original color. Okay, this was a cedar tree. But it's been weathered over thousands of years and it's got moss and all these organisms living on it. Just want you to look at this.
Dude, that is nuts.
Okay.
Crazy.
All right, hold on.
That's pretty good, Stormy. It's basically, oh, look at that. Look at them bad boys. Basically, just wanted to show you that one part because it's like, it definitely looks like stone and it's hard like stone because it's petrified. But then when you flip it over, it's like, oh, look at this, the grain of the friggin' wood. That's crazy. Like, more lies. So how big are those trees back then? And then how high was the CO2 levels back then?
Have you guys walked through the redwoods?
I've not. I wish.
No. So we have an old growth cedar forest up about 2.5 hours away up the Loxaw River, dude, and those cedars are huge, like 7-8 feet across. I mean,
it's insane.
Crazy.
Like I was in Yosemite years ago, 25 years ago at least, and those they're fire retardant. Like you cannot burn them down. People don't know that. Like through the fire, they lasted. A lot of them.
Wow.
It's pretty wild. I have pictures.
they're trying, dude. The whole paradise thing, in the BEWs, they're trying.
That's crazy. But if you go back to the silica time, away from the carbon time, I mean that's an interesting rabbit hole if you guys want to go down it. The silica time, supposedly the ancients took all the silica, which is, in essence, you could say silica sand. Definitely worth looking at.
Just think of okay, so we know what Nephilim is, all that, and the whole story, these fairy tales of, like the Jack and the Beanstalk and all that type of stuff. There's got to be some truth to it. I've always thought
old wise tale about the bull.
Right.
What?
Is that what you was talking about, Lori? Paul and the bull?
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan. Yep.
Yeah, if the trees were that tall, how tall were people back then? For real. Not just the giants.
Right.
Well, that's when you start getting into some of those old Tartaria videos where they show you the houses where the entry to the door, like the door handle is like 10 feet in the air. And it's like the door, like the top of the door is like 40 feet up. And it's like, well, who the hell's house was this?
Right?
Yeah.
Was that
have you heard this story about in Afghanistan? There was a like a Marine squad that got just completely annihilated by this red-haired giant, like was skewering them with some sort of like trident thing, and they actually killed it with an A-10 Warhog. And then, dude, there was a guy that was flying the Globemaster, has drawings of it on the normal skid. It's like, I think they're like 18 or 20 feet long by 8 feet wide. They said in the fetal position, this thing was hanging off both sides, of like everywhere. Its feet were like 3.5 feet long. Dude, it's just
insane.
with like,
damn,
yeah, dude. Could you imagine if you're just behind that guy and he farted? It'd blow you over.
So have you guys seen the other ones of like the huge rifles? They found these like huge rifles, huge swords, and I mean huge. Like this gun, it had to be for a guy that's 5 times the size of a normal human.
Jimmy, with the farts you're talking about, that's why they took him down, right?
That maybe that's what blew the trees down. I had a bad case of the farts.
Cows aren't anything compared to these guys.
Man, this has been so much fun. Spaceshot, thank you for joining us tonight. So much appreciate it.
Yes.
Oh, I had a blast,
Come
brother.
back.
Oh, hey, you just sparked
so
you just sparked something. I'm not going to go on a long tirade. It'll take 10 seconds, but
Oh, you're good.
You just mentioned cow farts, and I just retweeted yesterday. My friend Eve for America, she was posting out a farmer who was saying, I laugh my ass off at these people. He goes, it's almost next to impossible for a cow to fart. I'm like, really? Really?
Yep.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if this is true, this is just another lie. Oh my frigging word!
Yeah, cows don't fart, dude. I have never heard a cow fart. I've heard horses, but not a cow.
No.
They say they'll burp from time to time, but they don't ever fart. It's crazy.
No flatulent. I'm gonna get a flatulent-free cow.
Right. So much fun. But we forgot to open with the prayer. So you want to close the prayer, Lori?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Boy, we're in trouble.
I know we're in trouble. We're going to hear about this,
That's
Jimmy.
okay.
Especially
about it.
with fart talk.
I prayed before we went on. My book has already got oil on it, so it's okay. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing us together. We thank you for the good times. We thank you for the laughs. I pray for each and every person that's in our prayer book. I pray for healing for those that need healing. I pray for those who are dealing with financial situations, drug and alcohol abuse. Father, I pray for people who are dealing with family issues. I pray for discernment for each and every one of us, Father, because that's something we all need so desperately. I pray for our leaders and our nation, that you guide them and lead them. I pray for the children. I pray that you put your angels around each and every one of them. And we thank you. We give you all the glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Man,
Good stuff.
good stuff. All right. Thank you so much. Space Shot.
You're the man.
Yeah.
Ryan.
It's always fun
Appreciate it.
having fun.
I appreciate it, guys. I had a blast. Definitely got to do this again sometime. You guys need to come on my side of the
Oh yeah,
world.
let's do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Just let us know.
That'd be fun.
Total
Definitely.
privilege. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Ryan. But love you all. Love your brains. Love your faces.
butts.
Love your butts.
Love your hearts.
Love your heart. Love your
Not your
heart.
farts.
Love your farts. We will see you guys tomorrow night.
Yes.
Peace.
Good night.
Peace out.